And that was fast.
You're online on Facebook and...
We're online. We're supposed to be online.
And you are. Yep.
Yay.
So, hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Facebook, to Hometown Stories again. We had some challenges last week when we had Joni here, which was a shame because hers was an awesome interview. We're actually putting together a YouTube clip of it with some clips from the Y'all event that we had that we talked about, that we already deleted from the page because the mics weren't working, so it really sucked.
Oh no.
But anyway, they're one of the local places here in our area. They do such a phenomenal job and they do such great things with their youth there that we're going to actually put up a donations page on our page.
Oh, cool.
We should have that ready next week, and what I want you guys to know that for every time you go to YouTube and share that, I'll be talking about it some more, we're going to actually donate money to Devereaux for the young kids there. But anyway, today is a new day, and I have Martha Bennett. It was the hardest thing for me to start calling her Martha because because she always went by the Busy Blonde. So if you've been here in the Clear Lake, League City area for any amount of time, you guys probably know her as the Busy Blonde. And you know, for all these years, whenever I would refer to her, it would be the Busy Blonde, and trust me, the name is well suited.
It is.
It is. This is where you're supposed to. This is where you're supposed to high five me.
We're not on script, by the way. So.
Oh, I had this in the script.
Thanks.
But anyway, so Martha, how long have you been a real estate agent?
Oh gosh. Well, Deb.
Well,
Let's see. Not as long as you.
I beat her in that.
She does.
We have competitions in the office all the time.
Oh, we
so
do.
I definitely,
And I definitely want to keep up with her. But I've been in the business for 18 years. So
that's a good long while.
it has. And I've called myself the nomad. So I have moved quite a bit just from life, but never have I not learned a great deal about real estate.
You actually started in California, right?
I did.
On the Busy Blonde team.
The original Busy Blonde.
Yeah, and so you had to bring that over here to Texas.
Well, I was actually really blessed because the Busy Blondes there, they spelled it B-I-Z-Z-Y, and they always called me the Busy Blonde daughter, and they always said that I could use the name. But then whenever I decided to do it, I was thinking, I can't use the B-I-Z-Z-Y name because obviously they're trademarked, and it would go to their website in California, so I didn't think it would suit anybody here in Texas if I did that.
No, for sure not. So just kind of share a little bit over the last 18 years that you've been selling real estate.
Gosh,
I mean, she's been pretty successful, guys.
As much as I've moved, yes, I've been very blessed that I have been so successful because with somebody that starts their business over as many times as I had, it's definitely not well advised. And I have been on the Busy Blonde team, which, you know, I could have either taken over that one or come back to Texas, and I wanted to have children, and that's where I'm from, Texas, so I came back here. And that team was a 2.4 GCI in 2006. I think
which
it was
is a lot.
which was
a lot in 2006.
It was a whole lot.
So 2.4 GCI, what that means for you guys means they brought in 2.4 million in gross income.
Mm-hmm.
Right, which is pretty amazing.
Which you can pretty much figure out, you know, being
course,
that
was
3% commission.
That was with California prices.
It was definitely. So
to keep up with that, you got to sell a few more homes here in Texas for sure.
Oh my gosh, do you ever?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Almost 100 more, I think, a year but no, not really. I don't remember the numbers, but and then I came back to Texas. I started around here trying to find my place, and then I went to Sugar Land.
We actually worked at the same office for a good
We did, and then that's when I met you in 2012. That was after children and getting back into the business. That's when I really started the Busy Blonde team and started having agents join me, and I think after I left RE/MAX, I had 4 agents under me.
Yeah, and she works pretty hard. Let me tell you what, like back when she was a competitor, you're not a competitor anymore.
No,
Well,
we are,
You
well,
are, because we're
a
competing.
healthy competition within the
We have
office.
competition all day long. But really, back in those days, I mean, certainly you gave me a run for my money. You work hard.
Oh, I love working hard. I love doing this. This is not a job. It's a career and a lifestyle. Honestly, I think when you love it as much as we do, it gets more and more fun. And when you love the fact that you'll never know everything in it, that's something that, you know, any competition driven individual will always try to know as much as they can.
So to give you guys just a little perspective on what she's telling you. So your average realtor that gets into the business gets her license, and they're ready to go charge forward and make it their career. And I'm going to tell you, I see a lot of them that work really hard. The average realtor that gets into the business within 2 years won't be in the business anymore.
Yeah, it's 87% drop out.
87. That's even more than I thought it was.
Yeah, it was 87%.
And of that, I mean, it definitely follows there's the 90-10 rule, like 10% of the people do 90% of the business. I would say in real estate, those numbers are 5% of the agents are out there doing 95% of the business.
Absolutely.
Which means 95% of the agents that are working out there are doing 5% of the business. So it is there's a lot of moving plates, a lot of moving parts, and it's just like anybody else that's running a business, but maybe more so because you're just all on your own, right?
And I think that, honestly, I just think that there's some of us that are just born to be real estate agents, and then some really try, and just like there's plenty of things I could not do. I mean, there really is a lot of things out there that I couldn't do, and I have tried to get out of this business just because I have my twins and I'm a single mom, but no one in my family ever would allow me to do that anyway, because once I found that in my 20s, they were like, you are so good at it and you love it, and that is the truth. And so
it is a calling.
It is.
I can't imagine doing anything else.
No.
So
No.
agree with you.
And that's exactly why I love
So-
being with Deb now.
Aw, that was sweet.
It's true.
And I didn't pay her to say that.
Well, not really, but I'm just
So,
kidding.
I mean, you were also building your own team, and at one point in time, you had how many agents underneath you?
When I decided to do something different at that time, just from life experience, I had 4. I had 4 agents and I had 3 staff.
Cool. So, you know, when Martha came and joined us, the busy blonde, when she came and joined us, of course, that question was asked by a number of people. So here you are. You work hard. You're great. You're talented. You had kind of your own thing going. Why would you come join the Bly team?
And you know, it's funny because a lot of people in this industry ask me that now, and especially because the busy blonde is obviously a catchy phrase, right? But one thing that people know once they meet me, whether it be in real estate, as a single mom, or just a human being, I'm busy all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe in my head a lot, but but
She's busy in both.
I am busy in both. But honestly, I did it because I highly respect Deb. I did a change of, I changed my life because I was putting more time on my kids. And it was truly advantageous for me during COVID to be with my kids and to do that. And so I always will put them first. You know, they're my priority. And so whenever I went back to thinking about what I was going to do and building a team, I thought it was, first off,
It's
it's
a lot of work.
a lot of work to build a team. It is. And it's a lot of work to be an agent.
And just to keep it running.
Yeah.
It is like you have 2 jobs.
Yes.
Being an agent and running the team.
Big time. It is definitely two. And then you have a full-time job at home. We all do. We all have still life at home. So when the opportunity arose, how can I not, want to join your team? I respect Deb. I respect her a lot. I respect you a lot. And I think that how can I not learn from somebody that has as much experience as you have? And I still can learn. So why not?
Well, the feeling's mutual. I respect her a lot too. So
Thank you. I did pay her to say that. Just kidding.
Just kidding.
I just think
Yeah, it's like this pretty much all
This is
day long
this
at
is
the
pretty
office.
much how.
As a matter of fact, I need to kind of kick her out of my office sometimes so I can get some work done because
I do have to leave so that I don't have to hear her either.
you do all the talking.
It's always me.
Well, it's true.
It is. I just don't realize.
So she's so relational. So, hey, one of the things I think we should address, and it's great to talk about you and your career, and honestly, I appreciate all the kind things you say. But I think if we're going to talk about real estate from two different realtors here, the news is on, and we are all hearing about how the market's changing and shifting. So in all fairness, I think we should talk a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, I think that's highly a great topic. Let's just say that. Yes, I think it's a great topic, and I think that people don't realize that when you've had the longevity of experience that we've had, honestly, the real estate market is just like the stock market. It goes up and it goes down. It's cyclical just like anything, every one of us. And so I think that we're going to have a great market, and I don't know why anyone would think anything otherwise, and interest rates are just part of the little piece of buying a house. So it's not something.
It's kind of a big piece.
Well, you're right. No, it is payment driven. I mean, it does decide what people's payments are going to be, but I think that we're going to have a good market.
You and I were talking in the office the other day, right? And of course, we've gone from that 2-3% interest rate to looking at 6% interest rate right now. And we were talking, and that is kind of a shock to the consumer, right?
It is.
Because that certainly jacks up your payment a fair amount. And one of the things that we were talking about is, people that decided that maybe they wanted to wait even longer to move forward, thinking interest rates would come down again. And I'm not saying they are or they're not, but both you and I can say this. In my entire career in real estate, I haven't seen 2 and 3% interest rates until we just came out of the market we're at. So, I mean, historically, on average, interest rates, like if you look at the last 50 years, interest rates are historically 6 to 7%.
That's right. That's typical average.
I would say we've kind of been in an abnormal market, one that I've never seen in my lifetime. And honestly, I don't know if we'll see it again in our lifetime.
I can't imagine the way that I used to think about it was, we're almost giving away money. I mean, 2% on a huge mortgage payment? Are
Crazy.
You guys
insane?
I mean, that is, I used to tell people, there's no way it can go below 2. I mean, like, when I didn't think it could go below 3. And then it went to 2, and I was flabbergasted. But honestly,
2 and something, but anyway.
Yeah, but 6 is, yes, it's definitely higher than what they're used to.
So we don't want to say that that's amazing. I think I had a question. I had a question this morning in our meeting for everybody, and the question was, I want you to think about this. What's worse than 6% interest rate? And I asked this to the team, right? So what's worse than 6% interest rate? No, it's not 7. No, it's not 8.
Renting.
That's it.
I mean, right? Who wants to give their money to somebody else when you can just have a little bit higher of an interest rate and get your own home?
Well, it's funny too, because I also shared with everybody this morning. I was sharing with my husband as we were looking at, our house value and everything. I said, gosh, babe, we've been living in this house essentially for the last 11, 12 years for free.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And
he says, well, I don't know if you see that payment we've been making or not. So tell me how you think we've been living here for free. And I said, because if we went and sold the house today, we would have essentially gotten back all the money that we've paid and then some.
And exactly. I mean, we should look at that way, because with the amount of money that people are making on their homes, even if they're not making, as much as they did, I mean, it's appreciating. We're putting money in our pocket. You can still do great things with that.
I will tell you, and I shared that this morning too, even before we went through this, definitely our last couple of years, prices have gone up dramatically. And is it going to shift and swing back the other way? You know what? The major economists are saying no. But I think
nobody
this
has a
market
crystal ball.
Yeah, nobody has a crystal ball. But even before we had this major upshift in price, you know, a game that I would play is I would sit with a couple at closing, and typically I had also sold them house. I knew exactly what they bought the house for. I knew what their payments were, and I would just kind of math out at closing what they bought the house for, what they were selling the house for, what their payments were. And it's funny because it's almost a thing that happens all the time. Essentially, they've been living there for free.
Yeah, I mean, I've never looked at it that way. So when you said it that way, I started thinking about, I've only lived in my house now five years, and what I could sell it for today versus then. I mean, honestly, I'm going to make everything back in just those 5 years.
Crazy.
I mean, it's crazy. Yeah,
So-
and real estate is good. It is good.
Well, of course, we're here to talk about Martha, but we can't help but dive into just, you know, aside from the sensational the news that's saying, oh my gosh, interest rates are going up, how, you know, what's going to happen. You know, this is like the real things that I think we should be thinking about.
Yeah, oh, always. Well, that's what we always think about too. We love real estate.
So I have one of the questions I have on here, but I think we've already already talked about it. Is what is your experience in a changing market? I mean, it changes.
Yeah, it always changes. And I think that if we look back at 2019, before the pandemic hit and the things that have changed, we're right back to where we were then. And we were appreciating at a normal pace, and we were calling it then. We were just adjusting, we were leveling out, and that's what we have to do after all the inflation of the home prices and everything. I don't see the market is going to go down. I can't, like I said, I don't have a crystal ball, but I just see us normalizing, is the word you used.
Yeah, so when you listen to the news, they talk about rising and increasing and whatever, and you know, if you really want to look at real terms, it's kind of just normalizing.
It is.
Again.
I mean, this is just, we had a crazy last 2 years. We're right back to where we were, and we were doing well then.
Yeah, we've actually had a crazy 2, 3, 4 years when you look at what we had in
For
interest rates and
yeah,
so anyway.
yeah. But I mean, I just think it's fast as we were over the last couple of years and the appreciation. And now, I think it's going to be a really good market for the fact that we're not going to be appreciating 25% in a year. I mean, the normal year a house appreciates is between 3 and 5% a year.
Yeah, 3. We're close to agreeing. I say 3 to 6%.
And it's all based on news that we all hear or statistics, so we could take it out and,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But anyway, I just want to say, if you guys have any questions, we're live on Facebook. You can post your questions. We'd be happy to answer them.
Absolutely.
But I also want to go on to say I'm very honored that you joined the team.
Oh, thank you.
I want to also say you are an amazing person. I know we've spoken a little bit about some of the things you've gone through. You know, your babies were born at what,
28 weeks.
28 weeks. You know, so anybody that has had young children that were preemies like that, you know, that was certainly that was certainly hit. But
Yeah.
anyway, we go through some things. Martha has certainly gone through her share of things, and you know what? You bounce back
All the time. All the time. I might be down for a little while, just because
You're down.
I
Maybe
was.
for a minute or two.
Nobody ever sees it.
Yeah.
I let no one see it, and I keep going because you know what? I'm a fighter, and that's a really good tool in life, and I want my kids to do the same.
So I think we should dedicate this video to all those women fighters out there.
Yes.
So if no
I agree.
questions have popped up, I think we're
No
good.
questions?
We're going to sign out. No questions?
Not
No
yet.
questions? Going, it's gone.
I have one.
Oh, Andy.
Oh, we have a
Oh, wow, we
question.
have a
Yay!
For a first-time home buyer in this market, what advice would you give to them?
Go talk to a lender. Number one thing.
Okay.
And again, my first advice would be, the interest rates are not the 2 and 3% they were. If they ever come down again, you're just borrowing that interest rate. It can always be readjusted if interest rates come down. And definitely 6 or 7% interest rate is a whole lot better than 100% interest rate, which is what you're paying when you're renting.
Well, and my advice would be, first off, don't listen to the news and get scared, because anyone that's buying a home for the first time gets caught up in all of the advice and all of the information that's being thrown at them, but we will guide you hand in hand. And of course, I mean, we got to find your buying power, but that's what we're here for. We're here to teach you.
And again, and this is how you operate too, and I appreciate that. My advice isn't always, you know, go buy a home or go sell a home. Really, my advice is, what do you need? What are you looking for? And advising you. I mean, there are times when people come to me and I say, you know, I wouldn't buy a house right now if I were you.
Absolutely, yeah.
You're going to be here for a year and you want to buy a house. By the time you buy it, spend money to buy it, and by the time you sell it and spend money to sell it, unless you plan to keep it as an investment property, which I love.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's better off that you just rent. So I don't think just blanket. It's better to buy each and every single time. But I do think, so Andy,
Yes.
if you said, what advice would I give? I would just say, sit down with somebody that can lay out your options for you and see what works for you.
That's right.
Thank you. That works for me.
And talk to a professional real
Yeah.
estate agent
Yeah.
that can do that for you.
Maybe one of those 5 or 10%ers that are really doing this full time for a living.
Yeah, like us, the Bly team.
She's got a plug. Anyway, appreciate seeing you guys join in.
It's the truth. We're selling ourselves. That's what we do.
Appreciate you guys joining in, and we will see you not next Monday because it's 4th of July. Be safe on the water, not too much boating and drinking. I'll see you the week after that. So 2 weeks from today.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here.